Isn't it? Are they addictive? Is it up to the companies to stop people using them as much, or is it up to the user themselves? Is it just all about restraint? Let's talk now to Taj Dhunay, whose company makes these apps. So has a good insight into all of this. Taj, it's interesting, isn't it? Social media companies now saying, we're going to put things in place that make you use our platforms less. Isn't it as easy as just putting your phone to one side?
Yeah, it can be as easy as that. It depends on the person. I think self-control, if you can put it on the side and carry on with the rest of your life, I think, you should be able to do that. But I think social apps, we are embedding sort of technologies to allow people to keep coming back in the app, because user retention is one of the main things we do for social apps when we develop them. I think things like push notifications, functions like that, where we're trying to message people every
They're triggers to get you back in.
Yeah, so it's like every time someone follows you or likes your message or likes a photo or comments on you, it messages you, and is designed to do that in that way.
So these apps are actually, well, you design them. They're designed to keep you on that platform for as long as possible, really, aren't they? So how is these new measures going to balance with that?
I think in that sense, it just makes you go back in the app. It allows you to keep using it in essence. If you can use something else, like other people before social apps, I think people were just in their spare time watching TV, and now they're on their
now they're watching TV on their apps.
Yeah, now they're watching TV on.
It's interesting, isn't it? What makes these apps addictive?
I think there's a lot of features that can make an app addictive. I think there's things like people like to see the latest news. People feel good about seeing the latest news or following other people.
It's great for the Sky News app, by the way, if you're not taking part in Social Media Free September.
I think, it's following people, looking into people's lives, feeling good about other people watching you.
There's a hormonal, physical hit, though, isn't there, in the brain?
It is.
When you're on these social media apps.
Yeah, I think when you're part of you're like creating your own world inside a social app, because you're following people you like. You want people to follow you. You make a following, and I think people want to see seen. And it's the attention of getting putting photos out there, coming back, and all that kind of activity.
How much responsibility should these companies take, like your Snapchats, your Facebooks, your Instagrams? How much responsibility should they have for their users?
I think,
and the amount they use the apps.
Yeah, I think to some extent they can restrict, I think, youngsters or certain age groups to not use social media apps. Like, I think maybe up to 16, or having an age restriction to using it, because I think a lot of parents...
You can get around that quite easily, can't you? You can just tick a box and say, yes, I'm over 18.
Yeah, you can. That's a simple way of doing it. But then you can make it a bit more complex, like putting your ID and allowing that to connect to a database and saying, oh, is this person really that age?
Yeah.
And you can make it a bit harder to get into social apps as well. And I think a lot of parents are now concerned about their children. I think that's a big thing as well.
Yeah, is that going to be the next big market? Parental controls for these apps. So software or apps, again, that parents can download to restrict their children's use. Is that going to be a big thing, do you think?
I think so. I think people are getting more and more concerned about their children spending more and more time on apps, more and more times on their smartphones. It's not just apps. I think it's smartphones in general. I think if we can control that somehow and allow it to be a certain age, and people are losing their social skills, I think, through being on the smartphone, through social environments, rather than actually interacting with people.
Okay.
I think that's the way it's going.
Yeah, really interesting. Taj Dhunay from the Soundpipe Media Company, which develops those social media apps that we're also addicted to, but trying to either give up or restrict. Thank you very much for talking to us. Gavin's put his phone down for 5 minutes to deliver the sport to you. Hi, Gavin.